Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Coming up in today's program, an act of bravery and unwavering commitment to public service, honoring Constable Ricardo Fairclough, the family man who will be given the posthumous award for gallantry. We'll have that and more, but first, the news after this break.
Breast cancer affects millions of women and men each year. Yes, even males. As we celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we encourage you to screen for the disease. This includes self-examinations and mammograms. Remember, early detection saves lives.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 15, 2024. 1.5 billion Jamaican dollars has been set aside to develop a program to attract visitors from Eastern Europe. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett outlined the expenditure during a function over the weekend. He argues that with the volume of Latin American air travel scheduled to come on stream, the country should now look at the new and emerging economies in Europe. In line with that, Minister Bartlett says the government is currently looking at visa arrangements that will enable access through our borders. As for the money, he reveals that it will be used to develop a new program of advertising and marketing starting this winter season.
This is the largest single amount that the government has provided for marketing augmentation in the history of our country.
The tourism minister insists that while the government is working on the marketing aspect, the responsibility of destination assurance needs to be kept in check by stakeholders.
Because we make the promise to the market that when they come here, they will have a safe, secure, and seamless experience. And at the heart of the security is a confidence that when they drink our water, no oral issues. That when they inhale our air around, it's nice and clean.
In the meantime, amendments to the Jamaica Tourist Board Act, requiring that all partners and players in the industry be licensed, could go before Cabinet within a week. The Portfolio Minister gave the update on Saturday as he addressed the 63rd renewal of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, JHTA. Minister Edmund Bartlett stresses that while destination assurance relies heavily on the conduct of Jamaicans, the regulation and legislative activities surrounding it lies with the government.
With the new business models emerging, particularly sharing economy, accommodation now has been democratized. And it has moved from the center to the periphery. So all over Jamaica, there's accommodation now. Tourists are going to places that you never imagined. And they are happy and safe. But if anything happens, they have no recourse. And more so, we don't know where they're going and who and what they're going to. So we can't then guarantee the quality of the experience.
In other tourism news, with the global travel sector projected to increase from 1.4 billion to 1.5 billion people by the end of the year, government is encouraging tourism partners to explore new ways of attracting visitors. Minister Edmund Bartlett insists that industry players must abandon what no longer works and adopt new strategies.
Unless we are responsive and adaptive and nimble in the face of new technologies and innovative, we are going to be part of a history that few people will remember.
Furthermore, he is encouraging sector stakeholders to get to know the travelers and identify suppliers that will be able to meet their consumption needs.
We have to look at how we are going to transit into the areas of tourism that offers the best opportunity for economic development and growth for you.
Government is contemplating options to hold family members accountable for abandoning their homeless relatives. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, says there are over 3,000 persons currently living on the street. He is urging family members not to abandon their relatives, but rather to help provide accommodations for them.
We discovered that a vast number of the homeless people are families. They come from stable homes. But there is family dispute. And these family disputes has resulted in some of them being turned out of the home and have to find a place on the streets. We are going to be taking steps to bring to books those persons who abandon their families. The time has come when we must have a change of heart.
At the same time, he says the government has been and will continue making significant investment in housing facilities for the homeless.
This administration has spent more than $500 million on facilities across the country for the homeless population. In every parish in Jamaica, we have what is known as a drop-in center. And in some parishes, majority of parishes, we have not only created the drop-in centers, but we have expanded the drop-in centers and we have created shelters where we encourage the homeless to come off the streets, going to these facilities where we provide medical care, 3 meals a day, clothing, a place to sleep.
Minister McKenzie was speaking at the recent handover ceremony for a 2-bedroom home and a studio unit in Belvedere, Westmoreland for indigent persons. And finally, the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Jamaica Customer Service Association to support the annual Jamaica Customer Service Poetry Competition. The MOU formalizes the partnership between the two organizations in coordinating the competition, which is a highlight of the National Customer Service Week activities and Service Excellence Conference, staged in October each year. Deputy Chair of the Jamaica Customer Service Association, Richard Rowe, expressed appreciation for the long-standing partnership with the JCDC in engaging students about customer service.
This is an opportunity for them to get involved in, expressing themselves and allowing Jamaica to see customer service and service excellence through their lenses, through their eyes, by expressing themselves openly in the arts. And so we are really, truly happy about this partnership and about the possibilities that exist with our young people.
JCDC's Executive Director, Lenford Salmon, says the Commission is happy to assist with raising awareness about the importance of service excellence.
Once we instill good customer service in them, then it speaks so much to what we can expect in the future. And there's no better place to go to get that done than at the JCDC.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
About 29,000 Jamaicans are blind. Another 80,000 are considered visually impaired. Glaucoma. Eye diseases arising from diabetes and refractive errors in children are among the major causes of blindness and visual impairment in Jamaica. Get your eyes checked if you have not had an eye exam in the last 2 years. Visit your eye doctor or call the Jamaica Society for the Blind Vision Center at 876-927-6757 or 876-927-6757. 10.11.2024. Take care of your eyes. You need them to properly carry out your daily activities.
Our government is always busy making decisions in the interest of our country. Here's a recap of what happened in the office of the Prime Minister this past week.
Last week, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness updated the nation on the progress of the Spark program. In a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, he announced that a firm has been identified as the preferred bidder to carry out works for all 4 packages under Spark.
Their technical scores were the highest and their bid pricing was competitive. Additionally, negotiations regarding the waterline works component of the Spark project were also completed with the preferred bidder and the Government of Jamaica negotiating team, agreeing to a suitable price for the $2 billion budgeted for the waterline components.
Meanwhile, Dr. Holness says a public education campaign will be launched shortly and ground broken for the start of the overall project before the end of the year.
Citizens will be informed about which roads have been selected for improvement and other key project details, helping to manage public expectations. As we prepare to enter the construction phase of the Spark project, we are committed to carrying out the work with efficiency and professionalism, ensuring minimal disruption to the daily lives of our citizens.
Dr. Holness asserts that Spark is the first government-owned and funded project that has included citizens across all constituencies in the decision-making. He says the success of the program will bring about lasting benefits for citizens and the country at large.
The government remains fully committed to ensuring that this project is delivered on time, within budget, and to the highest standards of quality.
Clarifying the misconception of local contractors being sidelined from the Spark project, Dr. Holness assures that several firms will be engaged as subcontractors.
However, it is important to note that the selection of these subcontractors will be made by the main contractor in accordance with the terms and conditions of the main contract. The contract is with the main contractor, and it is the contractor that the government will look for or will hold accountable for the timely project delivery and quality of work.
Spark is a $45 billion intervention to rehabilitate and reconstruct local and parochial roads, as well as more complex road networks and associated works, such as water and other infrastructure. In other announcements, Mr. Holness says patching, routine road maintenance, and minor improvements to drains will increase over the coming days. These are roadways that were damaged by Hurricane Beryl, and the work is being done under the $3 billion REACH Road Rehabilitation Program.
The National Works Agency is actively overseeing the implementation to ensure efficiency and accountability. The NWA will also engage in the rehabilitation of main thoroughfares of over $600 million to complement works on community roads.
Acknowledging commuters' concerns about road repairs being done in peak hours, Mr. Holness gave this directive.
I'm using this forum to direct the Minister without portfolio, who has direct oversight on these particular matters, to ensure that the contractors who are doing the patching exercise some amount of discretion in the time that they choose to do these road works.
What we have done is to put the NHT on track to deliver
over 43,000 housing solutions during the next 5 years. As Minister of Housing, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government continues to work assiduously to address the issue of home ownership.
Jamaica has always had a housing deficit, a deficit of about 150,000 housing solutions. We have never been in any position to make any impact on that 150,000. The NHT, through the policy of the government, has now worked out how it is going to knock off 43,000 of that 150.
The Prime Minister says plans for these housing projects were set back for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact of a rise in inflation and supply chains, which affected construction.
We are now just getting back on track and the train is on track and it is moving. Jamaicans will have 43,000 housing solutions either being financed or sponsored by the NHT that will be delivered over the next 5 years to Jamaicans. But the NHT is not the only instrument of the government's housing plan. We have the Housing Agency of Jamaica, and they have another 15,000 houses that they will deliver. And then the government, through other initiatives, such as the Bernard Lodge development, which will deliver another 10,000 or more housing solutions.
The Prime Minister was in Manchester on Wednesday, where he delivered 445 housing solutions for the Perth Estate Phase 2 development.
I'm so proud moment, and I'm elated to be a new homeowner.
On Thursday, Dr. Holness was in St. Anne for the grand opening of the latest branch for Quartz Jamaica in Drax Hall. He lauds Quartz Jamaica for its continued investment in the country with 30 stores across the country. Dr. Holness says the Unicommer Group, with this massive investment, is a major contributor to the country's foreign direct investment.
It is remarkable to witness how far Quartz has come, evolving from a single store to becoming a household name synonymous with quality and reliability across the island. Your commitment to our people and our economy is invaluable, and we thank you for your unwavering confidence in Jamaica.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
Women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year. The risk of developing these abnormal changes is associated with the infection of HPV. Not only that, early sexual contact, multiple sexual partners, and taking oral contraceptives increases your risk of developing cervical cancer. Ladies, protect yourself. Get tested. It is better to be aware than to be living in absolute fear.
Let's now take a look at a true hero who dedicated his life to serving, protecting, and reassuring. Constable Ricardo Fairclough, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty, will be honored with a posthumous Medal of Honor for gallantry. In the following feature, we'll remember Constable Fairclough's remarkable contributions, hear from his colleagues and loved ones, and reflect on the legacy he leaves behind. Please join us as we celebrate the life of a fallen hero.
Fairclough was a family person. Constable Fairclough was well self-driven. Constable Fairclough was a man of God. Constable Fairclough was a very hard-working and dedicated individual. Constable Fairclough was a very jovial person.
Everywhere around us there are heroes, people who rise to the occasion, often at the greatest cost. Constable Ricardo Fairclough, a dedicated member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, was one such hero who exemplified the spirit of bravery and commitment. With over 18 years of service, Constable Fairclough began his journey in the Island Special Constabulary Force before joining the Jamaica Constabulary Force in 2014. He was assigned to the St. Anne Police Divisional Headquarters Operational Support Unit. His career was marked by unwavering dedication and a profound sense of duty to protect and serve. On April 15, 2024, he made the ultimate sacrifice, putting the safety of others before his own. Tragically, this selfless act cost him his life. Senior Superintendent of Police Commanding Officer Dwight Powell recalls the incident and the passion that Constable Fairclough demonstrated towards others.
So Constable Fairclough had worked the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift on that day. Concluded duty and was on his way home in the vicinity of Bravo Street. He was standing at the fire station when he saw a citizen being attacked. In fact, the citizen was fired upon by a gunman, and Constable Fairclough just jumped into action. It was a spontaneous action for him because that is what he knew. That is what he was accustomed to, serving and protecting the lives of the citizens of this parish. Since meeting him, I know he was a selfless police officer, very dedicated, very efficient, very cordial in terms of his working relationship with members of staff, members of the general public. I believe that he had a very good community outreach, so he spanned reaching the community despite he did hardcore policing. He had that soft and tender touch in terms of reaching everyone. He was very dedicated, very sharp in his uniform in terms of his turnout. He was always well put together. I mean, he was, in my mind, a model policeman.
Constable Fairclough's reputation as a steadfast officer earned him the respect of those he served with and the citizens he protected.
Before he passed, he and I used to work every shift. He was basically the driver for my team. And I can remember fondly, one day we were at work and he was talking about the polo clothes, the polo gears, and he was asking me, have you ever seen a polo game before? I have never seen it, even though it is in St. Anne. And he said that on our lunch break, he's going to take me to where a polo match is being played. And he transported me there, and we had our lunch there and watched that polo game.
The late constable's commitment to both family and faith was an inspiration to all. Recognized for having strong family ties and unwavering faith as a devoted Christian, he was fearless in his beliefs. Constable Fairclough actively shared the gospel with others, embodying the values he cherished, a sentiment echoed by a proud wife, Josette Archer Fairclough.
Protect us in the realm of the spirits this morning, continually to shine over us.
Sometimes when he call, he'll be at the church by himself, praying and preaching as if he's preaching to somebody. Sometimes when I call, he's saying to me, Archer, I'm at church right now. When I'm finished, I'll get back to you. And when he called me, I said, one was at church today. He says, me alone. And I have prayer meeting, and I do service, I read Bible, I do everything. But it was me alone, you know?
As Constable Fairclough's widow reflects on their precious memories, she shared some of the stories.
He loves pictures. He has thousands and millions of pictures. Because wherever he goes, he's always taking pictures. He loves his family, he loves his children. They're always going out, always playing. He loves his animals as well because he loves cats and dogs. He have a lot of cats back home, and he have dog here and also a cat that he bought for his daughter. When I told him I don't need a cat in the house, I only came back from work and there was a cat. There are times that I reach home but I'm tired and I'll go take a nap and I woke up to dinner, or I'll just smell the food knowing that he's in the kitchen. You know, he is a family man. He doesn't measure the duties and say wife's supposed to do this or he's supposed to be outside. If I'm outside, he's outside with me. If he's watching the car, we both watching the car. He's a everything person. You can call on him for anything. If it's even the last dollar that he has and someone don't have it, you can count on him. He's going to give it to you. He prefer not to buy the grocery as he had done before and save someone. with that money.
Constable Ricardo Fairclough will be remembered by the values he stood for. In recognition of his extraordinary courage and invaluable contribution, he will be awarded with a posthumous award for gallantry at the 2024 National Honors and Awards Ceremony.
We are all feeling pleased to know that he has been recognized for that brave move that he made.
We miss him. We will continue to cherish his memory. We'll continue to look at ways that we can use his work ethics to infuse in others the desire to be more like him. I want to say to his family, thank you for lending him for 21 years to this organization. On behalf of the entire Center and Division, I just want to say thanks to the government of Jamaica for awarding this Medal of Gallantry posthumously to Constable Fairclough.
Thanks to everybody, the police force, the Prime Minister, the Commissioner, his friends, family members. Just thanks to everybody who participated.
Though he is gone, his spirit lives on in the hearts of those he served and protected. Thank you, Constable Fairclough, for your service and sacrifice.
One thing we need to remember is that there are many persons out there in our family, community, wider society who may be having challenges, and that these persons sometimes need to be heard, sometimes need to be helped, sometimes need to be hugged, right? And the best we can do to promote mental wellness in our community is just to be there for people, to be able to hear them, to be able to hug them, to be able to help them, you know? And let's all be our brother's keeper and make this place a better place and a place that is conducive to good mental health and mental wellness.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Don't forget to give a hug and lend a listening ear to someone. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.